friends, welcome to today's video. Welcome to today's reading / traveling vlog. I am so incredibly excited because right now I am in Southern California and I'm just going to spend a couple of days here, and I'm just very happy to be here. I am visiting my brother, he lives here, and we're just planning on traveling and just relaxing for these few days. So let me talk you through my reading plans for this weekend. Right now I am doing a reread of The Martian by Andy Weir. I love this book so much. This is the second time that I am reading it and I am enjoying it even more than I did the first time around. Andy Weir is one of my favorite authors of all time. I just absolutely love his writing and I cannot wait. If he ever comes out with a new book, I will run to a bookstore because I love his writing so much. So The Martian follows the main protagonist, Mark Watney. He's an astronaut and he's part of a crew that was sent on a mission to Mars, but unfortunately something went wrong and he was abandoned on Mars. There was an accident and his crew thought him dead, and he's now left stranded on Mars trying to find a way to survive and to be rescued. I've already made quite a lot of progress in this. I'm currently on page 330, so I only have just a little over 100 pages left, and to be honest, this is kind of bittersweet because the ending of this book, in general, this entire book is extremely fast-paced. You follow a very likable main protagonist that you cannot help but root for. And the way this book is structured is that there's always something that goes wrong and then Mark Watney tries to find a solution for it, and then something else goes wrong, and on and on and on. And it is just incredibly engaging, plus there is quite a bit of humor. It arguably could be a little bit much. I do think there are just a few moments where overall sense of humor and the tone could have been a little bit more settled. I understand why some people don't really vibe with the sense of humor of Andy Weir, and I do think it is just a tiny bit overdone in some places, but still, it's a brilliant book and I love it so much, and I do highly recommend it. Anyway, what I was saying is that I only have just over 100 pages left, and it is kind of a bittersweet moment because on one hand we are coming close to the main resolution. You really want him to make it and he's closer than ever to his survival, but at the same time there are so many things that he has to do in order to get rescued, and he has to do so many sacrifices, and there is almost a sense of a bit of a nostalgia for the first few days of him being on Mars, and the issues that he had to deal with at the beginning are nothing like the things that he has to deal with now. Even though the stakes are high throughout the entire book, but somehow when he's so close to being rescued, it feels so much higher and so much more pressure on him to just survive and make it. And there is some kind of bittersweetness about the last bit of this book that I enjoy so much, but at the same time I'm happy that I'm almost done with it, but I am also sad because I'm not ready to say bye to these characters, and I just love this book so much. Honestly, every time I reread either The Martian or Project Hail Mary, it's always a good time and it's always a read that really uplifts my spirits. So if you're looking for a good, very fast-paced sci-fi, I would highly recommend this book. I am also listening to an audiobook. It is Happy Place by Emily Henry. That is her latest release. It is kind of an interesting one because two main characters were dumped by their partners. They were dumped by their partners to be together, and the main two characters are forced to live with each other. They're roommates, but eventually they develop feelings for each other. It is an interesting setting. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I only have about 3 hours left of the audiobook, so I would say I'm about 60-70-ish% into the audiobook. I really like the main two characters, specifically the main male character. I feel like he's just a very sweet, genuine person who really cares about people around him. In a way, I feel like I would love to have read this book in my very early 20s. I'm still enjoying it a lot. It's just that I feel like I could have related to the main female character a bit more. I don't know where the romance is going. I feel like right now they're at the place where they acknowledge that they like each other, but at the same time they do have so much that they have to go through mentally for themselves and so much of life to digest before they're able to fully go into this new relationship. So I'm very interested to see how Emily Henry is going to do that. I do really like her writing. It is more of a lyrical type of writing. It is very enjoyable, and I'm very glad that I'm enjoying it so much, because the last book by her that I read was A Happy Place, and I didn't like that book at all. I actually gave it 2 stars. I loved the setting, but I didn't like any of the characters, and I really didn't feel like that romance worked in my eyes. I know a lot of people really love that book, but for me, I didn't see the 2 main characters together, and I didn't enjoy that book at all. If I continue enjoying the ending of this book, I will probably pick up Emily Henry's new release next year. In April, she comes out with a new book. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Big Beautiful Life, something like that. I don't remember for sure. I'm going to be picking this up if I enjoy the rest of Happy Place. No, Funny Story. As of our plans, we are currently in our Airbnb. Tomorrow we are going to take a drive in the desert, and I hope we get to see some beautiful places there. For today, we're just relaxing. There's quite a few of books here in the Airbnb. Let me show you. There is almost the entire collection of Agatha Christie. We have the ABC Murders. I actually really wanted to pick this book up. I don't know if it's good. I have read most of Agatha Christie's most popular murder mysteries, so this is one of the ones that is a little bit less popular, but I wanted to pick it up. There's so many. Funerals Are Fatal, Crooked House, Agatha Christie. I've never heard of many of these titles. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading, and I will keep you guys updated on what I do. Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. It is such a beautiful Sunday morning here. The sun is shining. It's pretty chilly, but still, it's really nice. I woke up this morning at 6:30 to watch the sunrise, and it was just gorgeous. And I was reading my book and I was watching the sunrise, and it was perfect. It was the most beautiful ambience and the most beautiful start to the day. Also, today is my brother's birthday, which is just exciting on its own. And yeah, we have a full day of adventures ahead of us. Check this out. It's a giant rock. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is now Monday morning. Yesterday was such a cool day. We had so much fun. We were driving around in the Mojave Desert pretty much for the entirety of the day, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. The amount of wilderness and just open space that there is amazing, and we had so much fun. I really felt like I had the most immersive experience. Also, as I told you yesterday, in the morning I was reading quite a bit of The Martian, and then I had some pockets of time where I could read without the day, and it was incredible because we were in the middle of a desert and we went to a place called the Giant Rock, which shockingly is literally a giant rock. I know, who saw that coming? Not me. Anyway, so in order to get to the rock, you have to drive on an unpaved road for quite a few miles, and it was basically just driving on sand in the middle of a desert. And if you've read The Martian, this is not actually a spoiler at all, but one of the few things that Mark Watney has on Mars is that he has his 2 rovers, so he can take some trips around the hub. And yesterday, as we were driving in the middle of a desert on this sandy road, I felt like I was in a rover on Mars. It was just amazing. We had a really great day. However, I told you yesterday that I'm going to try to finish The Martian last night. That didn't happen. We came back home and I was so incredibly tired that I couldn't. That was my limit. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit more reading done later today, but for now I'm having a free morning. There is a used bookstore that is nearby. I really want to go and check it out and see if we can find something. I might just do window shopping because there's only so much I can take with me, but I do have some space in the luggage, so if I do see a good deal, I might pick something up. Let's see what we can find. Let's go check it out. Hello friends, welcome back. As you can see, I am back home. I had the most wonderful trip. It was so beautiful. It was so relaxing. It was lovely. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this little getaway. I had the best time and I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. I'm here to give you my final reading update, and also I have a little bit of a haul for you. So as for my reading, I actually finished 2 of the books that I mentioned before, but I also started 2 other books, so let's talk about it. So the first book I finished was The Martian by Andy Weir. I read the last couple of pages on my plane on the way back, and this is a 5-star. I love this book so much. I am so happy that I decided to do a reread, because honestly this book was even better the second time around. It was amazing. It is so incredibly emotional, but at the same time is very hopeful and heartwarming. It has quite a few funny moments, but at the same time there are so many nerve-wracking moments, and the last bit of this book made me tear up, as it did the first time that I read it, because it is just beautiful and it highlights so much of the beauty of the humanity and all the good things that people can do. It was amazing. I'm so glad I did this reread, and I think I'm going to do another one eventually. Probably not for a year or maybe more, but I will definitely be rereading that book eventually. Also, I finished Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I'm glad to say that it is actually going to be, I think I'm going to give this book 4.5 stars. It was wonderful. I'm just so glad that I found an Emily Henry book that I really enjoyed. Previously, I only gave 5 stars to Book Lovers by her. I really enjoyed that one, but I didn't really connect to Beach Read as much as everyone else did, and also I did not like Happy Place by her at all. So I was a little bit nervous going into this one. I was hoping I'm gonna like it, but I didn't have very high expectations. But honestly, this book exceeded my expectations by far. I enjoyed a lot of it, even though there was so much tension between the main two characters. This book is really not about their romance. It is so much more about them exploring themselves and kind of developing as people outside of any relationships. I really like the main two characters a lot. I think the main female character has gone through so much character development, and I really felt for everything that she had to go through and a lot of the things that were very challenging to her, but I really enjoyed the progression of her story. And then the main male character was just wonderful. I loved his attention to all the little things, and honestly, I think he's one of my favorite romance main male characters. And yeah, I love this book so much. At the beginning, it was giving me a 4-star, maybe 4.5-star feeling, but I wasn't really sure how I would feel about the ending of this book. I really loved the fact that this book was packed with many plot lines. There were so many things happening at the same time, and coming along this journey with the main characters was just a joy. I enjoyed this book so much. I think I would give it 4.5 stars. It didn't quite give me a 5-star feeling. I don't think it will be a 5-star, but it was a great read and I enjoyed it just so much. I have a very special guest joining me here for the outro of this video. That was a big yawn. So also on the plane back, I started reading Blood Over Bright Haven by Emma Wong. I'm only like 2 chapters in, so I'm about 20-ish pages in. I started it on my Kindle, but so far so good. Obviously, I can't really say much about it yet. The setup that we have so far is very interesting, and it is one of my most anticipated reads of this year. So I'm very excited to continue, and I really hope I have a very high rating for this book. And then also on my trip, I listened to the first 2 chapters of The Deep Sky. I like it so far, but obviously again, I'm literally like 15 pages into it, so I don't really have any feelings towards it yet. But one thing I want to say is that I didn't really enjoy the audiobook, unfortunately. I didn't really like the narrators that much. I think I'm going to continue reading it physically rather than listening to it on audio. And on my last day in California, I went to 2 bookstores. So first I went to the Open Book. It is a used bookstore and it was lovely. However, I didn't find any books that I was interested in, so I didn't buy any there. But then afterwards, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I love Barnes & Noble so much. If you're in Canada, the biggest bookstores that we have are Indigo Chapters, and then in the US is Barnes & Noble, and I feel like Barnes & Noble is so superior to Indigo because the selection that they have there, I have only been to 2 Barnes so far, and they had some books that I have never seen on a shelf in a bookstore. Those are the books that, you know, you can find, you can order online, but I've never seen them in stock on shelves. But in Barnes & Noble, everything is in stock, always. I love it so much. It is such a wonderful store. So I decided to pick up 2 books there. The first one is One Dark Window by Rachel Gilling. I am so excited to read this. This is an adult Gothic romantasy, and I have a feeling that I'm really going to enjoy this series. Based on what? I don't know, but I just have this feeling and I'm so excited to start this series. I think I might start reading it next week, and it is definitely going to be in a vlog, so stay tuned for that. And then the next book that I picked up is The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Robel. I saw Bonnie Nicole talk about this book in one of her latest wrap-ups, and it sounded so fun. So when I saw it in stock, again, I never saw this book in bookstores before. It is a thriller murder mystery, but it is set in a hotel that is themed around Hitchcock, a famous film director. So all of the decorations and everything about this hotel is on theme with all of his movies, and that sounds like such a fun concept. I cannot wait to read this. I used to be somewhat of a cinephile. I don't think I am that much anymore. I don't really watch movies that much
anymore, but I used to really love studying film history and watching a lot of movies. And Alfred Hitchcock is one of my favorite film directors of all time. I really love his style. I really love the suspense, the intrigue, the tension that he has building up in his movies is absolutely incredible. So when I heard the concept of this, I was like, soul, this sounds so fun. I really hope I enjoy it. I hope this setting is really good, and hopefully the mystery is fun to solve as well. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I hope it is a good time. So that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you all so much for coming along with me on my trip. I had the best time, and I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog as well. Please let me know what book you are currently reading. I would love to chat to you guys in the comments, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!